Good evening, and this is Coach Asare bringing you a development video for our Southall under-11 players. Now this team are currently 14 wins from 14 games, in the quarter-final of their county cup, top of their league, and in the last 16 of the League Cup. But with all that said and done, we constantly look for ways of improving our players' game and game understanding. So what I've done, I found a short clip from our latest game against Just Sports, and we'll run it through once, where I just want you to sit back and watch the clip, and then the second time I'll run it through and give you the coach's perspectives, highlighting the good play and the parts of the game where we need to fine tune and improve. Enjoy. So that was a great little attack, which ended up in Harry Trout forcing a fine save from the Just Sports keeper. So now we're going to watch that same clip back again, but this time I'll give you the coach's perspective, and as I say, we'll highlight the good play, because there was some very good play in that clip, but also there was play where better decisions were required and a better execution. So let's just watch this clip back, but again we'll do it this time from a coach's perspective. So the clip starts with Miles about to take a goal kick, and he's playing the ball out to our right back on the day, Jamal Gordon. Now if we look here, Jamal's body shape is actually not too bad. He's side on, so he can see where the balls come from, and he can also see any oncoming opposition players that might be trying to shut him down. What we'd like to see from Jamal here, as the ball is played to him, is we'd like to see his first touch be nice and positive and come out into this direction here. If Jamal's first touch takes that path out of his feet, he can then get his head up again quickly and assess what's in front of him and hopefully pick out a good pass. So let's see if Jamal's first touch actually goes in the direction it should. Okay, so as you can see, Jamal actually required 2 touches to just get the ball under control, when really with a good positive first touch, that ball would have been out his feet and he would already be on the move. So that's the difference between taking a good positive first touch and sometimes killing the ball at your feet. You then have to take another unnecessary touch before we can actually get on our way. Okay, to be fair to Jamal, his head's up. He's actually looking ahead of him and he wants to assess his options. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so as you've just seen, Jamal's played the ball out wide to Jude, and Jude there has been excellent. He's brought the ball back towards his own goal, protecting the ball, keeping it safe side. He's used his right foot to dribble, and then he's played a lovely reverse pass back into the path of Jamal. So Jude takes great credit. He's made a very, very difficult skill look very easy there. So well done to Jude. If I stop the play here, so Jamal now actually has 3 different but all very good options in front of him. Let's look at the 3 options. Okay, Jamal could either pass the ball in here to Zach, who's his closest colleague. As you can see, there is a Just Sports player in between Jamal and Zach. So whilst there's room to play this pass to Zach, the risk of an interception is quite high because the Just Sports player is in a relatively good defensive position. Jamal's second option is Sebastian, and to play a ball into Sebastian, Jamal would need to find something like this path here. And what he wants to do now is play the ball to the right of Sebastian, so that the Just Sports defender over here, who's marking Sebastian, is actually going to have to foul Seb to get to the ball first. So if Jamal can find that ball to the right hand side of Seb, we'll be in another good position. There is a third option and a quite excellent option. I think it's the best of the 3 actually. And that's this ball out here to Jasik. And as you can see with Jasik's body language, he's got his hands up in the air. He's actually demanding and calling for the ball. And he's got absolutely nobody in front of him at this stage. So of the 3 passes that Jamal could find now, Zach, Seb or Jasik would like to think he'd get his head up and pick out Jasik. Let's see what happens. So, as you can see, of the 3 options, Jamal's actually decided to pass it to Seb, and he didn't take up the Jasik pass. On closer inspection, Jamal actually at no point ever looked up far enough to see Jasik. So he only ever was aware of Zach and Seb, and actually missed out the best pass of the 3. My only problem with this pass is, not only has he missed out Jasik, which would have been the best of the 3, but then the actual pass to Seb is to Seb's left. And what that does is it actually brings the Just Sport defender into play. So had the ball gone this side of Seb, somewhere over there, the defender would have, as I said before, would have had to either foul Seb or be a bit more patient, because Seb would have got to the ball first. By Jamal playing it along this path, he's actually invited the Just Sport defender to become an active part of this play. Let's see what happens next. The Just Sports defender actually gets to the ball before Seb. So not only there are we now saying to Jamal, if you had got your head up and looked further wide, Jasik was a better pass. But now your pass actually into Seb hasn't been played on the safe side. So you've actually allowed the defender to come and make a tackle. So that's something there that we can work with Jamal in terms of his pass selection and his pass execution. Not a problem. Okay, so we'll play the clip on. So the ball's been cleared out to Tom Dobbin. And if we stop it there now, Tom has actually played the ball out wide to Jasik, who, as you acknowledge, we could have actually played that pass via Jamal. So we've had to go through an interception, recover the ball, and then get the ball out to Jasik. And as you can see now as we play it on, Jasik no longer has the space that he had previously. So he's now had to beat one man. He's cut inside to beat a second man, which is not a problem. But remember, just a few seconds earlier, he had absolutely nobody in front of him and was clean on goal. So anyway, once he's come inside, he's then found Seb, who then finds Harry Trout, who finds Seb, and I'll pause it here. Seb has now played what we call a split pass, and has taken 2 Just Sport defenders out of the equation. As you can see here, the number 7 and I think it was the number 8, are both taken out of the game by Seb's pass. Seb has actually brought Zach Brown into the play here. And if I paused it here, what we can see here is Zach Brown's on the ball, and he has 1, 2, 3 Just Sports defenders all closing in on him. If I play it just a little bit more there and stop it there, we can actually see Zach now has 2 Just Sport defenders really closing him down. A third man here is covering him. So really now I'd like Zach to play a first time ball back into Harry Trout, who's peeled off nicely and is looking for a first time ball to then be in on goal. Let's see what Zach actually does. He gets tackled because he's not actually looking to pass there, but looking to dribble. So again, decision making. Had he been aware of Harry's run and played a first time ball into Harry, he would have taken out the 3 Just Sport players. Okay, so what happens next? So Just Sport clear their lines. Tom Dobbin anticipates the pass, and I'll pause it here. So Tom Dobbins anticipated the first pass out by the Just Sport player. The second pass has been intercepted by Abdi, who then strolls out of defense. And I just want you to see what Abdi does here. So Abdi's body language is good. He's got the ball under control. He looks up and executes what you think at first sight is an excellent pass. He's put on good shape on the ball. The ball has good weight. It's going in a nice diagonal direction, and if there's a player there, Southall are in business. However, as we will see, there's actually nobody at the end of Abdi's pass. So Abdi there now, he's put the right weight to the right shape on the pass, but no accuracy. And again, this is a part of Abdi's game we've been constantly talking about in recent weeks. He's a great defender, great attitude, great enthusiasm, but his passing accuracy is what we need to work on. And actually making sure when he passes the ball, it gets from A to B. So what happens next? Well, Just Sports come out of defence. Harry Trout puts the player under enough pressure to force a mistake, and then the ball falls to Zach Brown. Now just look at his body language here. Zach, excellent. If we watch Zach here, just highlight this scenario here for us. So Zach has done what we call here putting the ball safe side. Zach has got his body between the Just Sports player and the ball, which means that the player obviously has no way of getting to that ball other than fouling Zach. So that's great protection, buying himself a little bit of time to make a decision on what to do next. Zach now has drawn all the attention to himself here, and I just want you to just see this picture. Zach has actually managed to get himself 1, 2, 3, and obviously 4. Zach has now got 4 Just Sports players looking and paying attention to just him. They're now not worried about what any of the other Southall players are doing. These 4 players are all attracted to the ball, and this happens a lot in youth soccer. So at this point, this is where we can now exploit the space, and hopefully, if Zach can see what I think is on, a pass in here to either Jude or Abdi could release an opening on the other side of the pitch. Let's just see what happens. Excellent. So Zach has found Abdi's feet. And I pause it here because this is a very, very important part of the attack. So because of those 4 players I highlighted earlier that were all looking at Zach, now look at the space that's been opened up on the other side of the pitch. Abdi's picked up the ball, and instantly, I'd like to draw your attention to this gap in here between the centre back and the right back. There's a great gap in there for Abdi to either drive into himself or to play a pass into Sebastian, who's just to Abdi's left. Alternatively, Abdi might be able to play a pass in here for Seb to run onto. So he either has that pass in that gap there or a pass in there for Seb. Now both of these are dependent upon Seb making a good forward run. Abdi's got the ball, that's your trigger, Seb. Make a good forward run and let's get on the attack. But as we see, if we play this on, Seb actually makes no run at all and is looking to receive the ball to feet. So that opportunity is now gone. Abdi acknowledges the opportunity is gone and decides to run with the ball himself. We get a little bit lucky with a few ricochets. Stop here. And again, once again, just like to highlight this. Zach Brown on the ball on the edge of the opposition's box. And just look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll even bring him into it. 6 players are all focused on Zach Brown, which gives Jamal a great opportunity in here to make a forward run unnoticed. Abdi could support his pass, make a forward run unnoticed. Harry Trout, who's already in there, can go in there unnoticed. So right now, because of the attention that Zach has drawn to himself, that's released 3 other players to make an exciting run. And what I'd like to do at this stage is just highlight the movement. I'd just like to highlight the movement of Harry Trout. So just watch Harry. So again, let's just watch Harry Trout's movement as Zach progresses this attack down the wing. So as soon as Zach received the ball, Harry checked his run and made his way into the penalty box, around the penalty area, almost demanding the ball be pulled back to him for a shot on goal. Zach acknowledges this run and played a perfect pass to Harry, who unfortunately was thwarted by the goalkeeper. So you can just see there in a little clip that although we finished with a fantastic shot on goal and a well-worked opportunity, actually, if we rewind all the way back to when Jamal first got the ball back off Jude, had Jamal put Jasik in, which was his best passing option at the time, the wide pass, which he didn't see because his head wasn't up, had he played that pass, Jasik would have been in on goal, no defenders around him, and who knows how that attack might have ended up. And that's why when Arsene Wenger went to Arsenal, in his very first season at Arsenal, I remember an interview he did, and he said football matches are decided on key moments. Key moments. And you never really realise, but sometimes those key moments are the moments that didn't actually materialise. Like I said, had Jamal found Jasik, do Southall score? We'll never know. Thank you for joining me. Good night. God bless.